I'm going straight across to Shivani Sharma, getting in more details on that big story that she's tracking. Mir Farid continues to be with us from Srinagar as well. Shivani, to you first, an important meeting, the second one in the last 1 week or so, which means 2 meetings on the topmost body of the government to review the strategic and security situation vis-a-vis a response to Pakistan after the horrific terror attack from last Tuesday.
Sneha, this was again a crucial meeting that was headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and this was the second consecutive CCS happened in this week after the Pahalgam attack. And as we have been reporting since last 1 week, Sneha, the Indian government has been preparing on multiple domains, multiple fronts, not only the diplomatic but also on ground. And yesterday, the most important and the most crucial meeting of Prime Minister, Defence Minister, NSA and the 3 service chiefs along with the CDS was held, and 3 important points were indicated by the sources after this meeting happened. Number 1, that the terror has to be crushed. The second, the government relies and it has full faith on the forces. And number 3, that full freedom, the full operational freedom has already been given to the forces. Now it is the choice of the forces when and how they decide to hit hard on Pakistan. And Pakistan keeps guessing, Sneha. Pakistan is in utter confusion and fear, and it has been jittery while we have been preparing silently for a very hard attack on Pakistan's terror state. But as of now, what we are learning through the sources is that India is preparing on all its possible fronts, be it the Army, Navy, Air Force, be it the counter-terror operations that go on in Jammu and Kashmir, be it the responses that Indian Army has been given to the unprovoked fire by the Pakistani Army, the ceasefire violations it has been conducting. So we've been holding the DGMO level talks, raising the issue with the Pakistani Army, and now we see that they have been violating this ceasefire even on the international border. But the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force, they are preparing, and the Prime Minister is monitoring all these developments personally, and almost every day he's taking the briefs, taking the situation stock by the Defence Minister and also the service chiefs. Sneha.
Well, absolutely. Meetings, one after the other, that have taken place in the national capital also today, importantly, to chalk out the strategy for the road ahead. What lies ahead, Mir Farid is getting in more on that story from Srinagar. Mir, India preparing plans for retribution, a fine-tuning that plan really for retribution. Talk to us about the situation in the valley with intense operations underway to nab down those behind the horrific attack on Tuesday, last Tuesday in Pahalgam.
Yes, Sneha. In fact, there are layers to the response of the security agencies. We know that the operation, the main operation to catch these this squad of Lashkar are happening in and around Pahalgam. Now, because of the sensitivities connected with the operation, obviously I won't be able to give you the exact locations, but I can tell you that they are hot on their trail. There are thousands of security force personnel on this operation. Then you have the other part which the NIA is investigating. Now, as we know, NIA investigations are complete. They have to unearth the plot from the scratch, and they cannot leave any detail untouched. So this has to be, in fact, attention to detail, attention to the minutest details. So this probe is going to take a long time. You also have to understand the number of eyewitnesses. There are thousands, almost 1,500 tourists, if not more, who each one of whom the NIA will have to speak, because anyone can give a detail that can be crucial. Then you have the service providers. Each one has been questioned. The visit to the crime scene, evidence, etc. So all those things are happening. This is how the NIA operates. This is how it investigates terror cases. But if you look at the overall security scenario, this incident has definitely shattered the fragile peace that Kashmir Valley was witnessing. Last 3-4 years were going absolutely fine and people had started to invest in peace. But suddenly I spoke to the Gen Next people who came out openly against this attack, which we haven't seen in the past in the Kashmir Valley. The young leaders who led the charge, they say that they really are disturbed by the fragility of peace in the Kashmir Valley. And this is something that should not happen. Fundamentals of peace should be very strong. One incident should not be allowed to shatter peace. But unfortunately, the sequence of events that's happening, especially the tension on the LOC and the preparation of a military punitive response to the Pahalgam attack, obviously keeping people on the edge in the Kashmir Valley and who are uncertain and don't know what's going to happen next. Sneha?
Well, absolutely. We'll come back to you in a moment from now. Amir getting in those details from Srinagar on the situation in the valley as we speak. Aishwarya has been tracking the important meetings that have taken place in the national capital today, all of them chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi as the head of the government here, and also Shivani. And Aishwarya, in fact, Kamaljeet Sandhu also continues, in fact, to be with us. Kamal is tracking those details. She is in Pahalgam as we speak. But before I go to my colleagues, a look at the high-level hurdles of Prime Minister Narendra Modi today. Let's take a look at what were the meetings that took place today. The Cabinet Committee on Security was the first body to meet today, an important meeting that took place. The Prime Minister chaired it. Then there was a meeting on the Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs, which is the CCPA. A third meeting was the Cabinet Committee meeting on Economic Affairs. This is the CCEA. And there was a fourth meeting of the entire cabinet that took place. Also, there was a side meeting, a pull aside really, between Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Defence Minister and the Home Minister is what our reporters are telling us. Shivani continues to be with us. Aishwarya is also with us. Aishwarya, I was speaking with you earlier also on the manner in which the government has been in a huddle led by the Prime Minister, the chairperson of all of these committees, where one after the other discussions have ranged from strategic affairs, security to the political affairs, including economic affairs, because the CCEA also met today. Essentially, it's a long-drawn strategy or roadmap that the government seems to be charting out at this point in time, isn't it? And of course, all of this in the context of the big attack that took place in Pahalgam last week.
Well, Sneha, one of the things that the government does not take lightly is when the world tries to make sure that they do not give India its due. And we have seen that since 2014, since Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister, he's made sure that things change on a global level. Now, with these kind of attacks happening and 26 innocent lives lost, this is not something that India will let go of. And that's why, if you notice the particular sequence of the meetings that happened, the first meeting, 15 minutes, the CCS, what we'll do next, the nitty-gritties of all those things, that is something that was being discussed. The CCPA, what needs to be done politically, and we just saw the statement coming in from the government. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav speaking about it. The caste census will be done as part of the census by next year, 2026. Then we had the economic affairs meeting, which means that where the economy of the country is going, what needs to be done to strengthen India globally, that was something which was being done. And then the cabinet meeting, in which two important decisions we have seen coming out. The last meeting after this was those 15 minutes, Neha, where Prime Minister Modi sat with Home Minister Amit Shah and with Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. So that was the time when all the loose ends were being tied up. What's the final plan? How will they go ahead with regards to the Indus Valley Treaty? Also, what India needs to do, what all needs to be done from our side, how the isolation of Pakistan will happen. And then Rajnath Singh telling Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that's what we are gathering, how our defence forces are ready and in which form the attack will take place. All those things were being discussed. So a full day, we saw the government gearing up towards, on one side, making sure that they make Pakistan pay for this, and on the other side, make sure that the growth that India has seen over the past decade, it continues. Sneha.
Well, absolutely. Be with us. Just coming back to you, because even before these meetings, there have been enough and more strategic messaging from the Prime Minister. Remember when this news first broke out, unfortunately, in the afternoon of last Tuesday, the Prime Minister was in Saudi Arabia. He cut short his 2-day visit to one he came back from Saudi Arabia. This was the Prime Minister rushing back And then he rushed back to the country, like I said, met with the External Affairs Minister and the National Security Advisor at the Delhi airport. And that's where the meeting took place. Essentially, that is the visual or the image of that particular meeting that went completely viral. And was a first meeting on the Cabinet Committee on Security. This was a meeting with the top ministers at the CCS meeting. The Prime Minister vowed unimaginable punishment at a rally in Bihar 2 days later. He used English in Bihar for a message to the world. He spoke in Hindi, and the same message he repeated rather in English, and that was obviously a part of a calculated move to send out a message not just to people in India but to the entire world. Meeting then with Rajnath Singh, the National Security Advisor, and 3 services chiefs. So the Defence Minister with the NSA, 3 service chiefs essentially, that took place last evening. The Prime Minister gave a free hand to forces, and that is what was communicated very well in this particular meeting. Shivani is with us. Kamaljeet Sandhu also is with us. But quickly to you, Shivani, first, a free hand to our forces. That was the message of the Prime Minister in a crucial meeting last evening, which obviously is indicative of the things that there will be action, there will be retribution. Make no mistake, at least Pakistan has got this one right with them. Hope, in fact, anticipating that there will be some military action on the part of India, something that the minister spoke about at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Absolutely, Sneha. The message that came was a very strong and stern message, and it has actually given out trembles to Pakistan, and that's why it had to conduct that press conference at midnight, where it said that they are expecting an attack from India in next 24 to 36 hours. So just see the picture. The messaging has been so strong. The message that the Prime Minister, the government has full faith on the forces. Now it's the forces who have to decide when and how they avenge the deaths of 26 innocent Indians. And this also that they have complete operational freedom from the Prime Minister. So now the forces are preparing, the strategy is on, the plan is on. Pakistan keeps guessing, and it is actually in jitters, and that's what we see as reactions on the borders too by Pakistan. But yes, Indian forces will not sit quiet. They are preparing, in fact, for a very big strike on the terror state Pakistan. But yes, because this is a sensitive input, we cannot divulge the details. It is on to the forces to decide when, how, and what kind of strike they will be conducting on Pakistan.
Well, absolutely. You know, Kamaljeet, meetings in Delhi, but action on the ground. You're in Pahalgam. Just talk to us about the investigations also in this matter. The NIA team is there. A lot of work was done today as well, vis-a-vis 3D mapping. Talk to us about what you saw on the ground, vis-a-vis the action of the forces.
What we saw was an unprecedented reaction post the terror attack. One was the ripple effect. What we saw is Prime Minister telling Union Home Minister to be here. But thereafter, what we saw was a swift action because NIA associated with Jammu Kashmir Police, the CRPF, they have been gathering evidence from day one. When formally NIA has taken over, remember, they're looking for clues just in and around, and there are plethora of witnesses, 1,300 in all. They're speaking to vendors, the poniwalas. They go scurrying through videos as well as looking at surveillance of mobile phones whatsoever were active in the vicinity. So it's a mammoth task as such. There are at least 45 members of NIA which are present in Kashmir Valley, some of them in Srinagar, a whole lot of them in Pahalgam, some of them in Baisaran, and it's actually going up and down Baisaran 3-4 times. That's actually an uphill task. But yes, they have been collecting clues. Several of them are vital, crucial evidences found on mobile phone footage, and after which it has also been concluded the identities of the most wanted, Hashim Musa, for instance, Abu Talha, Suleiman, we're talking about Adil Tokar. So they have been the ones who have been identified. But remember, as far as this conspiracy is concerned, to look at this is going to be very, very crucial, because remember, you just don't need forensic. You need evidence which directly puts this particular attack with Pakistan. Now, that's no easy task itself. Even in instance in 2019 Pulwama terror attack, in which 44 CRPF personnel were killed, that also took almost a year. And towards the end of that 1 year, there were some vital clues came in which actually led to the unearthing of the conspiracy. So the team is hard at work, but it's going to take a lot of time. But meanwhile, painstaking details, sequence of events, speaking to eyewitnesses, speaking to all those tourists who actually left ground. That's the thing that is now coming. So a whole lot of investigation is being done. But remember, it's a long way to go.
That's right, a long way to go. The NIA team is there looking into this matter. Arvind Ojha also in Pahalgam and looking at how the investigations are being carried out. Arvind, आप अपने सूत्रों के द्वारा क्या इंफॉर्मेशन पिक कर रहे हैं जहाँ तक कि NIA की जो ऑपरेशंस है बहुत इंटेंसिफाई हो गए हैं? इनमें 2 या 3 ऐसे लोगों का नाम भी निकल के आया है जो कि पाकिस्तान के साथ डायरेक्टली कनेक्टेड है और उनका नाम पहलगाम में एज मास्टरमाइंड निकल के आ रहा है।
देखिए, सुबह के वक्त एनआईए की टीम लोकल पुलिस के साथ जो बैरसन घाटी है वहाँ पर गई थी और ऐसा माना जा रहा है कि कुछ देर बाद इस रास्ते से जो एनआईए की टीम है वो नीचे आ सकती है। सुबह के वक्त टीम गई थी वहाँ पर जो क्राइम सीन है वो रिक्रिएट करने के लिए। 25 से ज़्यादा जो विक्टिम, उन्हें आप आई विटनेस भी कह सकते हैं, उनका स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड किया गया है और उन्होंने जो बताया है कि किस रूट से टेररिस्ट आए थे, कितने टेररिस्ट थे, वो सारी जानकारी लेने के बाद एनआईए की टीम अब जो बैरसन घाटी है काफ़ी ऊंचाई पर है, वहां पर क्राइम सीन कर रही है। जो पूरा एरिया उसकी 3D मैपिंग की जा रही है और ये माना जा रहा है कि कुछ वक्त बाद, चूंकि ये काफ़ी, अगर आप देखो तो काफ़ी ऊंचाई पर है जो बैरसन घाटी, और ये माना जा रहा है कि कुछ देर बाद जो आज की इन्वेस्टिगेशन है वो कंप्लीट करने के बाद जो एनआईए की टीम है वो नीचे आ सकती है। अलग अलग लोगों से, 100 से ज़्यादा लोकल लोगों से, इंक्लूडिंग मुजम्मिल जो जीप ऑपरेटर है उससे पूछताछ एनआईए की टीम कर रही है। 22 अप्रैल को क्या हुआ था बैरसन घाटी में, उसकी एक्चुअल पिक्चर एनआईए की टीम समझना चाहती है, इस वजह से बार बार बैरसन घाटी जा रही है और वहां पर जाकर इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रही है। आज भी जो डिप्टी एसपी थे एनआईए के और तमाम ऑफिसर वो फिलहाल बैरसन घाटी में सुबह के वक्त गए थे और बहुत मुमकिन है कि कुछ देर बाद जो आज की इन्वेस्टिगेशन कंप्लीट हो उसके बाद वो नीचे आ सकते हैं। स्नेहा,
बने रहिए हमारे साथ। अरविंद ओझा getting in those details. Also Kamaljeet, all my colleagues joining in and sharing different inputs on this story because this is the biggest developing story that we are tracking. Pahalgam, the terror attack and the aftermath of it, on how India is now readying what it intends to do next. We have more news coming in. Let's take a look. Central government has revamped the National Security Advisory Board after the Pahalgam attacks. Ex-RNAW Chief Alok Joshi has been appointed the head. The decision comes in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack, which claimed the lives of 26 innocent civilians. Let's tell you a little about the revamped National Security Advisory Board of the NSAB. Alok Joshi, a former chief of the Research and Analysis Wing, RNAW, has been appointed as the head of the National Security Advisory Board. 6 more members have also been inducted into the board. The members include former Western Air Commander, Air Marshal PM Sinha, former Southern Army Commander Lieutenant General A.K. Singh and Rear Admiral Monty Khanna, all retired military officers. Rajiv Ranjan Verma and Manmohan Singh are the 2 retired members of the Indian Police Service. B. Venkatesh Verma is a retired IFS officer in the 7-member board. Kamal continues to be with us for more on that. Kamal, talk to us about the significance of this move as far as the revamp of this crucial board and the responsibilities of this board is concerned. Get us the specifics here.
See, in the wake of terror attack of Pahalgam, this advisory board has been revamped. The messaging is very clear. One, national security is on top of the agenda, especially in J&K. This is where experienced hands really come in service because remember, there is no looking back, there's no going back. Free hand has already been given to armed forces, but obviously having heavy weights as far as the retired officers are concerned, they're the ones who come with not just a perspective, but a background as far as entire internal conflict, or for that matters, the conflict with Pakistan is concerned. So it's a holistic view that they really get, but it's also what they advise to the government at a crucial point of time that becomes extremely crucial. Now remember, we already have the armed forces, we already have the paramilitary, we already have security forces, be it Rashtriya Rifles, be it Jammu Kashmir Police, the CRPF, all of them operating. But then there is this hegemony which is led by the advisory group, which will give in perfect advice, a sane advice, and perhaps a moderation as to what can be done and what's the way to go about it. This is a perspective that the government most requires, and that is why this particular revamp really has happened. And remember, coming at a very crucial juncture, because we are standing at a precipice where there is a larger ramification as far as Pakistan is concerned. Remember, open hand already been given by the Prime Minister to the armed forces.
Absolutely. Be with us. In fact, Shivani also is with us. Shivani, the centre revamping this board and sending out an important message about priorities, essentially, and the road ahead as far as, you know, India's preparedness for a potential retribution really is concerned. How do you read into what has been done today?
Sneha, actually, this is happening continuously for past 7 days when we are seeing a number of deliberations headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself. He is personally monitoring. And today's CCS was also important in terms of analyzing how the strategy goes on, how the plans go on. And on ground, we see the counter-terror operations right from the retaliation to the Pakistani forces to the movement of assets which cannot be disclosed as of now, the counter-terror coordinated operations between the army, the security agencies, the NIA's whole investigation. It is going on, Sneha. And besides that, we've seen how the Indian Navy, Indian Army and Indian Air Force have been conducting multiple exercises on multiple fronts and frontiers. So everything is now into the hands of the forces and deliberations are on. The forces are free to take any kind of operations they think is right, but the time, the target and the way, the means in which it will be done, it is still on to them to decide, and it will be coming, and that's what Pakistan is also anticipating.
All right, Shivani, be with us.